The next 3 or 4 history videos, I'm going to talk about the truth about the Kennedy assassination. John Kennedy Jr., who's running for president, has cited as telling the true story about his uncle's murder. More on the other side of this break. Today's video is sponsored by the Patriot Gold Group. 2024 is the year of uncertainty. In this one, I want to discuss the background of the assassination. When Kennedy first took office as president, he blundered into the Bay of Pigs invasion when he backed a group of Cuban exiles who were trying to conquer the island. And plans were made by the CIA that sponsored the invasion. And the plans included no air support for the troops when they landed, the Cuban exile troops. And the CIA people knew that that wouldn't succeed. They knew that they'd be pinned down on the beach and would require air support. And they were hoping they could bluff Kennedy into providing the air support at the last minute, and that would lead to a full-scale invasion of Cuba. Kennedy didn't take the bait and refused to send the Air Force to relieve the exiles, and they were wiped out or captured to a man. After that fiasco, Kennedy became very suspicious of the CIA on Cuba and on a range of issues. And when the Cuban Missile Crisis flared up, and it turned out that the Russians were seeking to put missiles in Cuba, 90 miles from our shore, Kennedy reacted vigorously and imposed an embargo, a quarantine, he called it, on Russian arms shipments to Cuba. And that worked, and they turned around the boats and never landed their material in Cuba. And it was a big triumph for Kennedy. But it risked a nuclear war, and became very clear to both Kennedy and Khrushchev, his Russian counterpart, that World War III had almost broken out and would have destroyed the human race. And Kennedy and Khrushchev both backed off, sobered by that, and decided that they would try to end the Cold War, a secret agreement. And there was an exchange of letters that's published in the book Unspeakable by Peter Douglas, where he reveals that Khrushchev and Kennedy were both moving toward a joint desire to end the Cold War. Now, there was a very large faction in the United States on the right that wanted to win the Cold War, not end it. And back then, there was a serious chance that we could win a war with Russia. We had missiles that could hit Russia. Russia did not have any that could hit us. And our bomber fleet was far larger than Russia's. And we had many more nuclear weapons than Russia did. But Kennedy refused to use that and said, I'm not going to have 1 million dead Americans and then celebrate the fact that I have 20 million dead Russians. And he moved to end the Cold War. They followed a series of agreements, like the Nuclear Test Ban Treaty in the atmosphere, or Kennedy's appeal for an end to the war in Vietnam. And he actually issued an order to have the troops withdrawn by the end of 1963. He was murdered before that could take effect. And Khrushchev, for his part, would not participate in a major expansion of the Russian defense budget. And Kennedy was shot in November of 63, and Khrushchev was ousted in the middle of 1964. And those were connected. And the two hardliners, Lyndon Johnson in America and Leonid Brezhnev in Russia, took over. And we'll pick up this story with the next history video next weekend. This ad is sponsored by the Patriot Gold Group. 2024 was the year of uncertainty. In 2020, there was COVID, and in 2021, Biden. In 2022, the war in Ukraine. And in 2023, bank failures, the war in Israel, and rate hikes by the Fed. 2024 is already starting with a steep fall off in stocks. Gold is the certainty in an uncertain world of Biden and black swan events. So call the Patriot Gold Group. Thanks for watching. Now, the Patriot Gold Group offers no fee for life IRAs to viewers of these videos, and that extended that offer and lowered the minimum required to get in. So call the Patriot Gold Group and ask about the no fee for life IRA. Stay well, and thank you.